Joining us this morning is the city manager for the city of Titusville, Mr. Neil Fratus joins us. Neil, good morning. Good to see you.
Luke, good morning. Good to see you too.
Hard to believe we are coming into the fourth month here of this brand new year, and you've had some nice breaks in the weather. Movement's been taking place out at the parks, and man, there's a lot going on.
There is a lot. We were just talking before the show how April's around the corner here, and we've been very busy. Had some nice days there. We were able to, unfortunately, fill some potholes. We're still filling those potholes, and working in the parks as well, and trying to get a jump on things, obviously, here for the summertime.
What have meetings have been like this month, and what are you expecting here into April?
Yeah, so something new this month we've done for the first time is move our council meetings back into City Hall. We had our first meeting last week there, and it's a smaller space, but again, it went very well. We actually had some folks that came to the meeting as well and spoke, which was nice, and again, it just was much more convenient for the city staff as we're able to not having to haul things across the street, over to Town Square. So that was kind of a nice change. So that was nice. We as I said, we had our meeting last week. We discussed a couple different things. We had our second reading of our Shade Tree Commission ordinance. That's something that we've been working on for the past few years, just trying to button up some things in the language with that ordinance. We also developed a finance committee. That was something that was recommended by our strategic management folks that came in and that we've been working with for the last 2 years and provided us some short-term and long-term goals for the city. And one of the recommendations was forming a finance committee where you'd get some folks from the public involved, and you meet quarterly and discuss city finances, kind of see where we're at with the budget each year. I know we talk every year towards the end of the year how we have our public meetings, 6 or 8 meetings where we let the public come in and just see how we come up with our budget for the next year, for the following year. And so again, this committee's being formed again to obviously be more transparent and give folks an idea of things that we're working on, some of the challenges that we face each year when we're looking for revenue, when we have to adjust some things as well, and services that we provide. So again, I'm kind of excited for that committee to be formed so we can get some public in here as well to look at those things. And again, just sit down every quarter to work with our finance supervisor and myself and share those things.
Obviously, there's a lot of projects sort of on the table, a lot of things that have come up. What's that balance like for you? Do you have things that are sort of ranked in terms of priority above others? Obviously, there's projects that have popped up over the years that you're like, okay, we have to take on these challenges. But for other things, is it getting council's view on these projects, letting them know what's coming up and figuring out then how you pay for these projects?
Yeah, this year it just seems like we have a lot of different projects, a lot of challenges that we have this year, in front of us. We've talked about Church Run. Church Run has been a project we've talked about for many years, and having that study that was done, that's something on our radar as well. We've talked about most recently our Public Works building. It's aging, 60-plus years old. We had a leak in the roof here over the winter months, and again, we have addressed that temporarily, but it's something we need to look at. As I said, that building's getting old. Where do we go from here? So that's something we're also looking at. Other projects we have in town, infrastructure issues, water well project, something that's going to be the next few years. We've started that project at the end of last year, and so again, I think it's just sitting down with council, prioritizing these projects, things that we have. Obviously, things come up in between there as well. We have other projects that we planned, small projects, whether it's in the parks, whether it's stormwater, just different things that we're working on. Those are included as well. And again, it's just sitting down and prioritizing those things and then moving forward.
I see Councilman Gavin Griffin posted something about some funds maybe not coming through on a section of roadway that was also flagged as an issue maybe, last year?
A few years ago.
Okay.
East Mount Vernon Street. It's a street that's not heavily used with traffic. We have one house on that street. Obviously, that street is up above and kind of feeds down into some other properties along Brook Street. Has become an issue. The weather. There's a spring up there as well that's kind of just ate away at the road. We applied for some funding, some congressional money through Senator Casey's office at the time last year. He wasn't reelected this year, kind of went to Senator Fetterman's office, and got to the final stages where it needed to be signed to the president, and unfortunately it just didn't get signed. There was a temporary bill that was passed to avoid government shutdown. Unfortunately, it wasn't included in there. Very disappointing for us. It's something it's about $1 million project. We had that kind of broken down into 2 different projects, obviously addressing the water issue that we had up there, and then obviously the infrastructure issue with reforming the road. So
Because
again,
if you don't do the one, it's really pointless to do the other, right?
right, taking care of the water issue first was the big one, because it was just going to eat away at that hillside and that road. So again, we had kind of broken down to 2 different projects into one great big one. So we're back to square one. We just got word of that last week. Again, very disappointing. Sure, that I thought we were that close to getting those funds, and it's back to the drawing board. And we'll figure it out. We'll look at some other means of funding. We're closely monitoring what's left of that road. Certainly, I know the neighbors in that area are also concerned. They want us to take care of that, and we're working on that, and it is a main priority for us.
Is there any opportunity to reapply or to make phone calls and kind of still have that as a possible avenue to head down?
Yeah, we'll have to reapply again. Obviously, we had the application was all done. It's just probably updating some numbers and things that we have. Unfortunately, costs don't go down. We haven't seen that, so we'll have to adjust for that. But again, there's that opportunity through that funding base, and then we can look at some other funding sources as well. And again, unfortunately, it's not you apply and a week later. It's sometimes it takes months and sometimes a year. And again, we need to monitor that location as well, as it's not getting any better, of course.
Any sort of estimate on how long that road could last the way it is?
Oh boy, I couldn't tell you. I know we monitor every week. We send somebody up there to take a look at it just to see. We have done some temporary things up there to try to redirect the water into a catch basin off of Oak Street again, but you never know how much rain we're going to get. Obviously, we had a rough winter, so again, we're going to closely monitor that and do the best we can.
Do you ever sit back and think, like, how do municipalities like this size or smaller manage things when you're talking price tags that are, for some projects that seem kind of basic, but they really aren't? That one you said is what, close to $1 million?
Yeah, it's about $1 million. And I'll tell you, last week, towards the end of the week, there was just a lot of things going on. And of course, we get the word of that. And I think to myself, oh my goodness, what are we going to do? And so, it's just kind of gathering your thoughts and thinking, all right, we just need to prioritize things. And I think of these other small townships, other municipalities that, they have the same challenges that we have here too. And some are worse, some are better off. And again, you do your best.
For you, what excites you about coming into the springtime, the weather changing? I'm sure the crews are excited to kind of mix things up and maybe not talk snow, but get into park projects and other things.
Yeah, I'll tell you what's exciting for me is just seeing out in the past few weeks, seeing the kids at the playground down at the Admire Complex. 17 to, I counted the other 17 kids down there playing the other day, and
wow.
Getting calls from folks just saying, hey, thank you for the playground set down there. So it's great to see that. It's nice to see the grass starting to get green. We've talked about cleanup days. We have one usually in April that we're working on scheduling. And again, it's just getting ready for some of these projects that we have. We're working on a park project over at Burgess Park, replacing some playground equipment. Last week we got the old equipment out of there. There was some issues with that equipment, so it was perfect timing to be able to replace that equipment. So again, it's going to take a little bit of time. I know folks are excited to get out and use the playground equipment and some of our park amenities. But again, I look forward to that, just seeing more people out and about.
Any salvageable parts from Burgess? Or?
Yeah, we're going to take a look. Swing set wise, we're able to salvage some things there. Playground set, sometimes, there's a rock climbing actually as it relates to Burgess Park. We're going to be able to save out of that equipment. Unfortunately, the slide and some of the safety posts, we certainly don't want to take away any safety concerns. If there's some concerns we have about safety, we're not going to use the equipment. But I think the rock climbing we're going to be able to leave or maybe even transition it into another park. So we're trying to do the best we can to save what we can, but again, we're not going to sacrifice safety.
Yeah, and it's been nice. I know you've been really excited about this. I think down at Admire, there was a trailer down there full of the equipment last fall or summer and fall, and I know pickleball had to get finished up, and then everything else. But it's nice to see it actually out and set up. Yeah,
starting to get that trailer unloaded. It was packed tight all the way to the door. So we're working our way through there and working our way on through the parks. And again, very excited to get those projects done.
What sort of feedback are you hearing from the public as you're out and about? Does it seem like the city is tackling the issues people are bringing up, or is it other things that people are concerned about?
Yeah, streets. That's a big thing right now with paving. Our paving project, we talked about it at the last council meeting. We have streets that we're doing. It's never enough. I share with folks.
Well, it doesn't take, as soon as the snow melts, it's like, hey, what are you doing about this? Let's make sure the snow's gone first before we dive into
exactly.
this.
And so we had a rough winter. I did a number on a lot of our city streets, some of our alleys as well, and again, folks calling in talking about, hey, is it on the paving schedule? And it's tough. I share our number. We usually get right around $190,000 a year to do paving, and that is not a lot of money with the streets that we have here. So we do our best to try to prioritize these streets. We certainly want people to call and share concerns if you have if your street's got potholes, if it's got issues. If it's something we can do temporarily, even to get it into next year, we'll do that. We're putting cold patch down. But again, we have to wait for the snow to get off the road before we can do a lot of these things. Main Street was a really bad spot. I'm sure everyone is aware. And so we were able to get that done. Now we're on the other side, same street, but on the other side of the road to fix that spot with the cones that are out. So, we just appreciate everyone being patient with us. And again, if you have a concern or a pothole, let us know about it, and we'll get out there and get it taken care of.
Yeah, it's got to be crazy because I'm sure you're experiencing, a spot where you go, okay, yeah, we should take care of this, and then something bigger happens, and it's like, well, that's sort of the priority now.
Yeah,
so.
and, it never fails. Every year we'll go and we'll pave a street, and a month or two later, there's a water leak underneath, and we have to tear it up. And unfortunately, it's just what you have to deal with and adjust.
Yeah. You're watching The Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. City Manager for the City of Titusville, Neil Fratus, with us here this morning. Still using Diamond Maps?
Yes, still using Diamond Maps to record a lot of things that we do in the streets. If it's replacing a valve, water line, what have you, fire hydrant, we're documenting those things in the Diamond Maps. It's a great program that we've been utilizing for several years now. And again, each department's using that, and it's sure beats writing things on a notepad and then not knowing where you put the notepad, but it's all in a system that everybody's able to look at and share.
That's great. We're coming in, I know we've had some wind warnings, but we're coming into the summer months where it seems like the past couple of years, storms have taken down trees, branches, things like that. Yeah. What should homeowners do, or what can they do? Or is there really no way of testing to see if, you've got solid trees around you?
Yeah, if you have a question or concern about one of your trees in your yard, give us a call. Obviously, if it's on the side of the sidewalk that's where your residence is, that's the homeowner's responsibility. Certainly, you can give us a call. We can come out and take a look at it for you. The shade tree can be involved as well. We can give you some guidance in that direction. But if it's in between the street and the sidewalk, give us a call. We can look at those trees as well. And if you see a limb that just doesn't look right, give us a call. Again, we'll help you if we can. If not, we can at least put you in the right direction, and what you can do to obviously take care of it.
Something we don't talk a whole lot about, but probably a good time to start thinking about this. If you're looking to do any sort of home improvement project, and let's talk about outside for a moment, sidewalks, porches, steps, things like that. What's the proper process? Do they need a building permit or something, or should the contractor be helping them with that?
Yeah, you don't necessarily need a building permit. Give us a call. Our code enforcement, our zoning officer can take a look at that. If you're simply replacing a roof on your front porch, you may not need a permit for that. Obviously, if you're building a porch with a deck and what have you, there is a permit process that you have to go through. Give us a call. Our code enforcement officer, zoning officer will come out and take a look at that, tell you if you need one, put you in the right direction, or if you need just some guidance on, hey, I'm looking for somebody to do some home repairs. Do you have any ideas or any thoughts of somebody? We'll be glad to share that information with you as well. So again, whether it's a sidewalk, whether it's some work on your home, on your garage, give us a call. We'll help you out.
And then something else, obviously, to be thinking about is, and this will excite people. Grass will be growing, and just making sure you're keeping up on that stuff.
Yeah, we're going to be getting into, as when the temperatures change and get warmer, grass is going to start growing. I noticed they just starting to get a little greener, which is nice. But there's a phase through April, May where grass is just growing. We all know how quickly the grass
kind of sneaks up on you.
It does. And I know our code office is very busy. Again, we just ask you to take care of your yard. We do have an ordinance that's 8 inches high, which is awfully high for grass. That you abide by to make sure it's cut. And again, if you have a neighbor that's, say it's a house that's abandoned, there's nobody living there, give us a call. We try to get ahead of the game before it gets too high, and we end up dealing with it all summer long. And sometimes it doesn't get cut until the end of summer. So again, if you have an abandoned property beside you that's just not getting taken care of, give us a call. We can work on that as well.
I guess maybe the upcoming schedule of meetings in April and other things that the city's sort of managing, like the roundtable. That's coming up.
Yeah, so April 2nd will be our next council meeting, and that's our first roundtable, I say for the month of April. So again, 2 meetings, first and third Wednesdays of each month. As I said, the next one is April 2nd, and these meetings are going to be held at City Hall. Our roundtable is once a month as well, the first Wednesday of every month at 10 a.m. What I'd like to do is start touring around the city and going to different locations to have those roundtables each month, which would be nice. So we'll work on that with the groups that participate. And again, we're getting into full swing here with spring and summer around the corner, and a lot of exciting things going on, not just for the city, but for the nonprofits and for the businesses. They have a lot of events that are happening, and so again, very exciting as we move into the year.
Roundtable. Did you say that's still going to be at?
It's going to be at City Hall.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Or it'll be at a location, potentially
Okay.
by somebody that participates in the roundtable.
And you mentioned at the start there, it's having the meetings at City Hall has been nice because everything's right there.
Yeah, it's just been great transitioning over, not having to carry everything across the street. Again, we appreciate the Redevelopment Authority and the space that they have, but again, it just made sense for us. We're able to provide it at City Hall, and having a parking lot right there and just easy access right into the building on the first floor works out well too.
Yeah, and again, those are open to the public. You can go just find out what's going on. Suggestions, or maybe you're part of a committee or an organization, you're just trying to get an idea of what's happening. Those are great things to attend. Yeah. Speaking of which, if folks are trying to schedule something or want to schedule something, should they come in and talk to you or somebody at City Hall first? Or, they don't always have to go to a meeting to bring this stuff up.
Yeah, if they want to have a special event, stop in. If you have a question, hey, can I utilize the park? Or hey, I know she put in playground to come in, and when's the park going to be open again? Just things like that. Ask questions. Stop in. You can email. You can give us a call. Anything like that. If you have a complaint, if you have a suggestion. Again, if you're not able to make the council meetings, you can certainly come in Monday through Friday into our office. My door has always been open. I encourage anyone to come in and again, voice a concern, an idea, a thought, what have you. And again, we're always open to anything. So.
I keep saying the St. Patrick's Day parade, but the Irish Heritage parade that took place a couple weeks ago was great.
Yeah, very successful. It was our second annual parade. We partnered with Council of the Arts, and again, we had about 12 to 15 different participants in the parade. Everything went well. We had a great crowd. Obviously, the weather was very cooperative for us, and a lot of wonderful events happening throughout the weekend with concerts and just different things and among town. So again, it was great to see everyone out, and obviously not just for St. Patrick's Day, but as we get into the spring months.
Does that get you excited for the upcoming months? I'm sure businesses are excited to add that tourism piece that may have slowed up a little bit when you get the train running again and things are happening like that. It really adds to the excitement of downtown.
Yeah, I think everyone's excited. I saw a lot of folks obviously out without jackets on and things, and like I said, the weather was nice. And again, I think for me it's exciting because I'm used to standing there when it's dark for the Santa Parade, and obviously the weather's much
which
more
is magical in its own right.
Yes, again, a different type of holiday, obviously, but again, it's nice to have daylight when you're actually directing folks out in the parade. And so again, it's an exciting time.
What? So the next meeting is what?
April 2nd.
April 2nd.
So that'll be next Wednesday. It'll be our next meeting.
Okay.
And, obviously encouraging everyone to come out. It's at City Hall. I'll keep talking about that for a while because it is a change from many years. We've been always at Town Square. So. Yeah.
Now again, something else that people can start to utilize. I think once you start the process and you get it a couple times, it's like, okay, it just becomes automatic. But paying your bill online can be a really easy way to just take care of that without mailing something in or figuring out when I'm going to drop a check off online.
Yeah, it's gotten a little quieter with folks. Obviously, we've made some changes with billing starting in March. But again, if you want to pay online, it's a very simple process. You go to our city website. There's a tab that says Pay My Bill. You click on that. If you have an account, you log in and you pay. And you're able to see your previous bills, your usage, your services that are provided to you. And again, if somebody wants to start an account online, give us a call. We'll walk you through it. Again, it's very simple. Simple process, and again, with the fees that have changed with $1.50 now, if you want to get a paper bill in the mail, and you don't want that $1.50 charge, give us a call. We'll walk you through it, and again, very simple process.
Also, that kind of reminds me, the online side of things, scheduling usage at the parks or renting pavilions or picnic
Yep.
areas, that's something that they can do as well?
Yeah, you can do that online as well. Again, I'm encouraging everyone to fill those things out, those special events. We're filling up quickly. We know all the events that happen at the Admire Complex and some of the pavilions that some of our parks are getting rented for birthday parties, graduation parties we're talking about already, and just different things. So give us a call. We do have an application process for that. We'll walk you through it. We'll share those forms with you as well. And again, I encourage you to get signed up because things are filling up quickly.
I saw like the first graduation invite back in January.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, wow, this seems early.
Yeah.
But somebody was really on top of it. And
Yeah. Again, those things will fill up quickly, and yeah, here we are, almost April.
that's incredible. Neil, if folks have questions, want more information, how do they find you?
Yeah, give us a call, City Hall, 827-5300. You can email us as well, not just me, but City Council. Come to a council meeting. Again, I'm always encouraging folks to come to our meeting. We meet twice a month. It's going to be at City Hall. Share some concerns that you have. If you have some discussion on some of the things that are on our agenda, we encourage you to attend.
Good to see you this morning.
Luke, thanks for having me.
Thanks.